So I've been playing Melee for like a year now, and more often the question comes up, what makes Melee good? And I think it has a lot to do with Smash 4 coming out and being a big game right now. And I'm playing it myself, I'm enjoying it, it's better than Brawl, but it's not Melee. And I found myself asking people and like thinking about it myself and debating with other people, like, what makes Melee Melee? Like, why is it so good? And I'm gonna stray away from community reasons right now. Like, you could always use the community reason, like, oh, I just love the Melee community, it's so much fun, it's so great, the people are so awesome, I love hanging out with people and going to these tournaments and stuff like that, which is completely true. I do love those aspects of Melee, but I think those aspects of Melee really go hand in hand with the other Smash games as well, and I want to dig more into what makes Melee different rather than a reason that could be applied to any of the other Smash games, or really almost any video game in general. So, with that being said, I think what makes Melee great is the milestones that you reach when you're playing it and when you're learning it, and how the game can always be pushed further. As someone who's been playing for a year, it really hasn't gotten dull in any sense at all, because there's still so much to learn. There's people that have been playing this game since 2002 that are still improving their game, and that's absolutely amazing. You don't see that type of learning curve or devotion to a game in like almost anything else. I can't really think of anything, to be honest. I mean, Melee's been around for 13 years, and some people have been playing it for a good portion of all those years, and they're still pushing the game forward and learning new things. And for me, when I started, there was all these like little techniques that I wanted to learn, and I'd learn them one by one, and I'd get them down, and I'd practice them, and I'd be able to do them all of a sudden and apply them in matches. Like, there's this whole order of learning new techniques. Like, if you just take a simple thing like short hopping. Short hopping was never something I really applied as a casual player, just something I didn't think about because I just played the game for fun, right? But all of a sudden I found out short hopping is this great tool, especially in Melee, to just do your aerial attacks quickly and things like that. And so it's something I started practicing. Admittedly, I started out with Fox because he was who I played as a casual player, and I found it really difficult to short hop with him at first. So I switched to Falco, because I also liked Falco and I thought he was cool. And I learned to short hop with Falco, so that was like the first technique I figured out. And then I'm like, wow, these people in these videos short hop dare a lot. So then I would short hop dare, and then I figured out how to short hop dare L cancel, and L cancel the rest of my moves, and figure out how to wave dash, and like all these trial and error things. And all of a sudden I could wave dash all the time whenever I wanted to. And it's with each learning of like each new technique, I don't know, for me, like, I felt really good. Like, it was rewarding. It was something similar to how it was for me in Mario Kart. Like, I was always trying to learn the ultra shortcuts and figure out how to do this shortcut, especially when I first started playing Mario Kart. And that's what made Mario Kart really fun at the beginning, was discovering and learning all these new things and new techniques. And Melee is just abundant with techniques, so there's so many things to learn, right? And after every technique, you're like, wow, now I can do this, let's move on to the next thing. And you just see yourself getting better so quickly, especially when you're first starting out. And it's absolutely amazing. It just, like, going from sitting in my house, you can see the improvement. I think, like, the first Smash video I made on this channel from, like, last year in December, watch me play Falco, and then watch me play Falco in this video right now. It's a big difference. Like, I'm doing all these things I could never do back then, and it feels so good to know that I put this time and effort into a game, and all the while enjoying it quite a bit, and all of a sudden I'm better now, and I know these things. But yet, even though I've been playing this game for a year, and I've learned all these things and I've gotten so much better, there's so much more to do, because I'm still, when I go to tournaments and stuff, I'm lucky if I, like, win 2 sets. Like, that would be a good tournament for me when I win 2 sets. Like, when I go to a larger tournament anyway. Like, if I go to a larger tournament with, like, I mean, a smaller tournament, local, with a bunch of players that similar to my skill level, and I win, like, 3 sets or something, and I place, like, decently, well, yeah, well, what do you expect? because they're all around my skill level, right? But when I go to a bigger tournament, like it's a good day if I win 2 sets or even 1 set, and that's after playing for a whole year. But it's not demotivating to know that I'm not that good at Melee yet. It's really not, because I know that I'm still getting better, and it's so much fun to learn. And then that's where some of the community aspect comes in too, is like while you're learning, you're hanging out with these great people. And like I said, that can be applied to any Smash game. But since Melee has so many techniques and things you can do, whereas I feel like in other Smash games it's not as prevalent, it's more about your mind games and things, which are harder to measure, like your mastery of the mind games, right? It's based on who you're playing more, and then like obviously you can measure whether or not you can wave dash. Like it's a thing you can do, like you can do it and use it correctly, or you cannot do it, whereas mind games are based on the matchup and who you're playing, and it's not as easy to identify. So I think Melee is abundant with these techniques on top of the level of mind games that comes with the other Smash games, which is what separates it from the rest. And as a last thing I'd like to add on, the game's pace, which is extremely fast, and it rewards aggressive play, which makes it a lot of fun to watch. Aggressive and action-packed things are just something we as humans in general like to watch, I think. And since like Brawl is the easiest example, Brawl didn't have that. You know, when you watch a Brawl match, it's just not the same. And you know, the people that enjoy Brawl matches, like when they watch it, are people that also like play the game a lot, I feel like. Whereas almost anyone can look at a Melee match. Like I showed like Mango versus Leffen at Apex to some friends, and who had never played competitive Smash or even heard of it, and they just knew what Smash Bros was. And they're like, wow, this is amazing, this is really cool. And it's easy to tell that these players are like doing things you can't do, and like how fast they're doing the things. Whereas if you showed them like maybe a very good Brawl set, they wouldn't be as amazed, because it doesn't look as interesting, in all honesty, to a player that doesn't play the game himself. And I think Melee really has that as a strength. So those are just the things I wanted to go over about what makes Melee a good game, and in my opinion better than the other ones, especially at a competitive level. I mean, casually it's really up for debate in that sense. There's a lot of other factors, but at a competitive level, Melee is no doubt the best game, in my opinion at least, and I think honestly from most people's opinions. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad I could talk to you guys again. Have a good day.